I'm going to tell you guys a fact. The world today is not the same as the world 20 years ago. It's a different game, but yet here we are beating ourselves up about not being able to win at a game that doesn't even exist anymore. And this isn't some doomer shit. It's just, I see this conversation pop up every single day on my timeline in some way, shape, or form. It's conversations that we have in real life with our friends and family. But I need to speak about this. The pressure to have everything figured out in your 20s is a complete scam. We are over here in the big 26, still comparing ourselves to how our parents did things and the way their parents did things, when that's not even remotely possible because the world is different. It's not the same. And like I said, this isn't a doomer video. This is something that I have just been seeing with my eyes. It's just something that's in plain sight. And you are literally one Google search away to understanding that it is not as easy to buy a house as what it was 20 years ago. Okay. And this is especially true in my country, South Africa. We have an unemployment rate of 32%. Okay. That is insane. And it consists of a lot of graduates, well educated people, young professionals that are sitting at home that can't get a job. So buying a house isn't even a question, dude, because they can't even find a job. So the world is very different. The world is very, very, very different. And I think the reason why we feel this mentally is because when we were kids growing up, we all had that idea that, by the time I'm 25, I'm going to have a house, I'm going to be married, I'm going to have kids. And as you get older and you see the state of the world and the country that you live in, and that things are not that easy and not that simple as what they were, then you sort of feel like, oh my word, is it me? Like, am I the failure? Am I the problem here? Was I not able to navigate the world's conditions in order to still get that outcome that I initially wanted? And that is where a lot of young people are struggling now. And I can speak from this from my own personal experience. When I was younger, I'm 26 years old, by the way. I'm old. But when I was a kid or a teenager, I really thought that I would be more set up now. I thought that I'd be able to be a homeowner and, all of these other things. But I'm not in that position at all. And I look at my friends that I grew up with and just people my age in general, and they're going through it too. So it's not like I'm the only one that hasn't bought a house yet. Obviously there's some people that I know that have bought a house and whatever, but the majority of us have not bought a house and we are not homeowners. We are renters, my G. And it's just crazy to me that when you hear of stories where people have dedicated themselves after high school to get a degree and then do postgraduate qualifications and they are still unemployed, bro. They are still unemployed. It's the wildest thing, man, where people feel that everything that they've done has been a waste of time. That piece of paper that they grinded their ass off was for nothing because they can't even get a job. They're still living with moms. You know what I mean? So it's just a really weird time, and I think you need to give yourself grace. Because as I've just mentioned, if you are struggling at the moment, it's not only you. The world is struggling. Every single country, there are people in their 20s and even early 30s that are struggling, that have gotten degrees and have gone about things the traditional way, but they are swamped in debt, can't be financially free, some are unemployed. And that is just the world that we live in right now. I also think that's why people in their 20s that game are labeled losers in this day and age, because everyone knows how tough it is out there in the world. And when you hear of someone that's playing games and not hustling, they get labeled a certain way, which I don't think is right. But I suppose there is some truth to it to a degree. But now just people are more self-conscious than ever about what they do for work. And even if they can't find work, people are just super embarrassed. It's really a weird time to be a 20 something, bro. It is a really, really strange time. Because on the one hand, you have everything that I just said about how a lot of us are struggling, and then you get the small minority of 20 somethings that are super rich streamers, that are super rich content creators, and they make up the point, I don't even know what small percentage it is at the top, but they make up the small top point of the pyramid, the pyramid of conversation that we are talking about. Yeah, they make up the pinnacle. And because we see these people on Twitch and Instagram and YouTube, we automatically play the comparison game, and we just also beat ourselves down further because we don't have a house, we don't have all these things that I just talked about, and we aren't as good as them. We don't have what they have. Why don't we have what they have? We're the same age. I'm smarter than him. Why is he so rich? We play these games when we see people that are in our age bracket, specifically in your 20s, when you see people that are doing better than you. I think it's even worse when you see people that you know that are doing better than you. And that is when you really have to give yourself grace and realize that everyone is on their own journey. And truly, as I've gotten older, the saying comparison is the thief of joy hits home, dude. Like, my parents used to tell me that growing up, whenever I was, jealous about someone or whatever. When you get older, you deep that shit, dude. Like, you fucking understand that it truly is the thief of joy. Comparison really is the thief of joy. I've experienced that on this YouTube channel. I've posted over, I think this is video number 38. And I watch a lot of YouTube as well in my free time. And I watch a lot of smaller creators that also do what I'm doing, commentary. And I've seen quite a few YouTube channels that have less than 20 videos out and have thousands of subscribers, and they get like thousands of views on their videos. And when I watch those videos, that little thing in my head is starting to, talk in the background, being like, oh, but your mic quality is better, your topics are better, your thumbnails are better. Why is he doing so well? Why aren't you? This isn't fair. And as humans, this is just, I think, something you can't get rid of, but something you need to manage. That when those voices in your head start talking, you need to shift the perspective. And by shift the perspective, I don't just mean become delusionally positive, because I can't hide from the fact that I only have 39 subscribers and 37 videos posted out, or 38 with this one included. That's not super great, but by shift the perspective, I mean I can still practice gratitude that I'm even able to upload videos, that I'm in the position that I can be able to do this without, worrying about my basic needs, which are food, water, and shelter. If I didn't have those things sorted out, Maslow's hierarchy, then I wouldn't even be able to put out YouTube videos because it wouldn't be a priority. I'd be trying to survive. So the fact that I'm able to make YouTube videos is an indication that I'm still a lot better off than the majority of fucking people out there, specifically in my country where poverty is rife. So it is always about perspective in life. And I know what I just said, mate, makes it sound so easy. Like, oh, just shift your perspective, bro. Practice gratitude, dude. Just practice gratitude. But it is possible. It's not easy, but it is possible to practice gratitude, specifically in situations where you feel that you are comparing yourself to others and feeling lack. Yeah, so to summarize everything that I've said, guys, just don't compare yourself or hold yourself to those kind of standards. You don't have to have everything figured out in your 20s, specifically in today's world where it is getting more and more difficult to become a homeowner, to buy a car, to do all of these things, And that's not me just saying, oh, we just have to be almost like defeatist and say that those things can never happen to us. Of course they could, but don't let it rob your happiness. That is basically the overall message of this video, is that I don't want you to feel robbed of your happiness just because you're not a homeowner yet, just because you're in your 20s and you feel like you should have been married or, whatever it is, found your soulmate and you haven't yet. Don't let things like that rob your happiness, okay? And if you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel further, you could buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. And you can check me out on Spotify as well as Twitch, where I stream games and scream at my monitor. It's usually a fun time, I swear though. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.